Guerrilla Insight, Episode 7, Desert Distractions. Pretty early in the day, and I wanted to get into this Guerrilla Insight episode over here, Episode 7. Something I mentioned earlier when I was talking with London Paul. I kind of mentioned this. I kind of threw it out there. I said it many times. The U.S. does not call the shots in the desert anymore. They don't call the shots in the sandbox. World War III is a damn suicide run. And I don't think these guys are that stupid. In order to understand what the hell's going on with the military incompetent complex, with the deep state, you got to understand what the plan was. In order to understand what was going on, you have to understand what the plan was. What was the plan before? What was the plan before Trump got in? Right? The plan, because the U.S. has lost all sorts of hegemony. I mean, we've lost that power under Barry O'Dumbo. Barack Obama did a wonderful job of wrecking us. I mean, we were already on the outs. It was only inevitable, and the elites knew this. They knew this. So their job is basically, you have a sinking ship. Well, the ship sinking, not only are they going to get on their lifeboats, but they're going to strip the ship of all its copper wiring. They're going to strip the ship of all its brass pipes and fixtures and any sort of trinkets or ornaments or whatever you have. High quality wood on the deck. Whatever it is, they're going to strip this baby dry and then let it go down. In other words, what was happening in the last several decades, since 2008, when they realized that their little debt scheme ain't going to run forever, was a wealth extraction scheme. And I told you that if Hillary had gotten in, we would have probably collapsed. These guys would have started off some sort of a war to really weaken and put an end to America militarily on the world stage, and then sold us off piecemeal to the highest bidder, after they, of course, confiscated our weapons by force. If that were to even happen. I still don't think that's even possible. I'm talking about the gun confiscations. So that was the original goal. Trump comes in, he derails that. So now I'm not going to waste my time detailing for you the 1,000,001 events that have happened since the time he's gotten elected, but you can see for yourself the relentless attack on the man is, well, relentless. They're making sure that every day of his presidency, from now to the next 4, or if he gets in for another 4, every single day of his presidency will be a presidency in crisis. Economically, geopolitically, geostrategically, internally, externally, upside, right side out, whoever they can use, no matter what law they have to break, attorney-client privilege, you name it, the Fourth Amendment, this, that, and the other. There is no law that these guys will break. Many of you were shocked that his attorney's offices were raided, and yet Hillary Clinton, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, Andrew McCabe, Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, none of these organizations and or people I have just named are not only never ever raided, they're not even being touched. In fact, there's no pressure on them. Barry Obama, Eric Holder, another duo of criminals. None of them are being touched. This is the point I'm trying to make here, folks. Barry and Hillary traveling all over the world, going to tourist sites, and Hillary falling off of temples in India, falling on bathtubs overseas, and Barry going around and to whatever goat brothel he's crawling himself into. They don't strike me as people that are running scared. They don't strike me as people who got any sort of pressure on them whatsoever. But one man does. One man has a lot of pressure. That's President Trump. So the question, not the question, so the scenario that I like to pose to you guys is this. Knowing, you've been following the ape for a while, the boat of launching World War III has sailed a long time ago. There's no way they're going to do that. Even though everybody's saying war with Russia, it's not going to happen. The other day when the whole Syrian gas thing happened, which is a bunch of BS, there was no gas attack in Syria. It was a staged event. It was a false flag. It was, again, crisis actors and or hostages that were already captured by these ISIS bastards. For when the Russian police forces got there, they did a criminal investigation. They allowed international inspectors to come in, take soil samples, interview people. There was no freaking gas attack there. It was a made-for-TV movie. It was a made-for-TV movie. That's what they've given you. So the question becomes, if it's not World War II and hyping everybody in a world situation, is it World War II or is it to bring pressure on Trump? Let me propose to you this, folks. Let me propose to you this. Syria is about the coup. Not of Assad, but of Trump. Syria is about the coup. Not of Assad, but of Trump. So what the heck do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? What is the number one thing that they have a problem with Donald Trump? That is he's running against their policies. They're trying to remove him. They're trying to usurp him. It was leaked on Drudge. Some congressman met his buddy of his in a supermarket, and they were talking about, oh, we're losing big because of him, and if that MFer, we should just impeach that MFer. He's crazy. This is what a supposed Republican congressman is saying about President Trump to a confidant of his in a supermarket in D.C. And there is no Russia collusion. This is not about finding evidence of, this has nothing to do with evidence. This is about bringing pressure upon Trump, making his life a living hell, threatening his wife, his kids, his family, all of it, making his life a miserable living hell. And you see Trump the day of the gas attack saying Assad is a gas killing animal, and all these things, these tweets that seem so unhinged. That, believe it or not, I know they're not unhinged at all. I know the guy's full control of his faculties. But what I'm talking about is the deep states. What I'm talking about is the media. What I'm talking about is the politicians who are gathering and recording and copying and pasting every single tweet he's done in order to do what? Why? Why are they not letting up? You got to understand the agenda here. You think CNN, which has the worst ratings of any cable news network, where Yogi Bear and Nick at Night reruns do better than CNN, do you think they're doing this for money and for ratings? No. They're doing the Joseph Goebbels effect. Lie and 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 lie, and keep lying some more so it appears to be the truth. Folks, what they are trying to do is a psychological conditioning of the American largesse. They're trying to psychologically condition people to paint the picture of a volatile presidency. Why? Why are they creating crisis for him domestically and internationally? Why? Because they want to remove him from office. They have to They have to put in order a massive record of his craziness. And they created the Syria thing, and they fed the man. Oh yeah, boss. Yeah, we definitely know that this was a Syrian. This is a chlorine gas attack. Last year was a sarin gas attack, and the year before that was another sarin chemical attack. So President Trump acts unhinged, triggers a war that they could blame him. Look, he didn't have all the evidence. He went in. He's unhinged. We have to impeach him. Oh, he fired Mueller. And it was leaked again by the same congressman in D.C. who was in a supermarket shopping with his confidant, who said, "Yeah, if he fires Mueller, we're all going to move for impeachment." So you see, this is the mode that's already said. This is what I want to get into the head of you folks. This is what I want to get into your minds. This is what I want to get into your minds. They have put Trump in a position where if he talks to Russia, they have made any sort, the Russia collusion, Russia, 24/7, 365, there's nothing else to talk about. Everywhere you look. So they are creating a case. Whether Donald Trump talks to the Russians, he can't do it because it looks bad. If he doesn't talk to the Russians, it looks bad. He's damned if he does. He's damned if he don't. He's screwed if he goes into war. He's screwed if he don't. He's screwed if he fires Mueller. He's screwed if he don't. They are closing ranks on him. And I don't think looking back at this whole entire thing, that bringing the mustache in, Bolton, the maniacal mustache, with his, I'm not even going to call it a mustache, I'm going to call it his war stash. He has a war stash instead of a mustache. I don't think bringing that nut job Bolton in was his call. It's most likely his neocon constituents that are right now completely filling up his office and his administration. Think about it. Oh, you want to pull out of Syria? I don't think so. Here's a gas attack. Now you got to go to war with Syria. Oh, you're not going to go to war with Syria? Okay, fine. Back to the Russia collusion. Back to Mueller's investigation. Oh, how about a James Comey book with an interview with George Stephanopoulos? How about that? How about a Stormy Daniels interview with Anderson Cooper? How about that? All these things that they're making him do, which causes him to tweet, which causes him to react, they record. Why? Because the case is being built for him to be not fit for office. That's what the whole entire thing is. You see, serious war crimes, absolutely serious war crimes were committed by Obama, by Cameron, by Clinton, in Libya, in Syria. And we know the truth of Duma. There's nothing but BS. It's a false flag. No chemical weapons will be used. Nothing was happened. Nobody died. And if Trump would have went in, or if he does go in, he will be blamed for a rush to judgment. At what point does the military-industrial complex turn against him? At what point do they string him up? It's no secret now, folks, at this point, that the GOP is completely divided when it comes to Trump. And the vast majority of them are with the Democrats, and they want to see him fail. And many people are saying, well, he doesn't look like himself. There's videos of some body language experts who are breaking down his body language. He doesn't come off as confident as before when he's talking about Syria. He looks like he's being strung along. It's saying that's not what I'm saying, but that's what these body language experts are saying. So what's the stake in here for Trump? No, I don't know. I've said this, months and months and months ago. Maybe they'll threaten his kids. Maybe they'll decide to damage and destroy his business. And then, there are people who say, well, there are good guys that are trying to protect his family, his kids, and they're doing their best to keep his businesses intact and this, that, and the other, and his livelihoods. The point is, they have a man who went into the office of the presidency with the best of intentions, trying to fix this country, try to really take a swing at this deep state, folks. And unless something miraculous happens between now and the fall, I don't know what's going to happen. You see, this is the time that the American public has to wake up. This is the time that every single person that has two brain cells to rub together should stand up and not only create a massive anti-war movement, but should literally come to the aid of the president because he is surrounded. Is he perfect? Hell no, he's not. Hell no, he's not. But he's the best thing that we have right now, considering the circumstances. That's why I believe this whole Syria thing was not to get into war. There's no war these guys could logistically win. The Russians could lock up the Persian Gulf and the airspace rather quickly. And they'll start sinking ships, and there's only one way to go, and that'll be full-on nuclear. And that is something the West, the idiots in Europe, and the morons that run the U.S. military incompetent complex, that is one war and one reaction that they cannot even hope to survive. And at that point, it was nice knowing all of you. It was a pleasure serving all of you, and those of us who survive and are able to glow in the dark won't be living for long. It's the end of life on Earth at that point. Nobody wants that. Cooler heads will prevail. They're just trying to remove Trump. The deep state's sending a message to the world as well. Hey, we're not dead. We're still in control of the West. We still could pull some strings. Look, we're manipulating this guy to go to war just to mess things up for you guys. Because your Petro Yuan is launched. Because your gold trade settlement is launched. Because your SWIFT alternatives is launched. Your IMF alternative is launched. Your World Bank alternative is launched. Your One Road, One Belt initiative is launched. Now, we can't stop all these things, but we can sure as hell frustrate it. We can make sure that the populations of our nations will have no partaking of the riches that you guys are creating. And we're going to torch this place. We're going to salt the fields of Western civilization. And folks, that is exactly what they're doing. They're salting the fields of Western civilization. So the beauty of Western civilization, the beauty of it, the rule of law, the sanctity of life, individual liberties and freedoms, the beauty that has made us who we are. These globalist bastards are salting it. So once they wiped off the very thing that has brought enlightenment to modern humanity, once that is removed from the world, it will never rise again. It's a good friend of mine that said this one time: if we lose the flame of sacred liberty, we've lost it forever. If we lose the flame of sacred liberty, we've lost it forever. It's like in the movie Gladiator, where Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, says to the main character, Maximus Decimus Meridius, and he says to General Maximus, Rome is but a dream. You could only whisper it. Anything more than a whisper, and it will fade away. For it is that fragile, and I fear it will not survive the winter. Folks, America is but a dream. And anything more than a whisper, it will fade away, for it is that fragile. And I fear that it will not survive the winter. This is the last bastion of Western civilization. This is the last bastion of patriarchy and manliness. This is the last bastion of all that is good. And we're holding on by our fingernails. The choice is yours. This could stop. This could stop tomorrow. All we need is for righteous men and women to stand up and say enough's enough. All we need is for men and women to march on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, go right up to the Capitol building, storm it, command the master of arms to hold a meeting, fire half of Congress, and take back this government. They are planning the murder of Caesar. Not on a physical death, but a death of office. Syria and all the false flags that happened and is happening and that will probably happen again is all about making this president look bad. It's part of the coup. All his tweets are being recorded, copied, and pasted. All his responses, all the pressure. Fire Mueller and you're going to get impeached. Keep on Mueller and you're going to get impeached. Your own party divided against you. The anger of losing seats to the Democrats in this coming election. All these things are snowballing and coming to an head. And unless there's a divine miracle by the Most High, unless there's a miracle by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, folks, I'm telling you right now, it's looking bleak. And that's why it has to be on us. We are the miracle. Do you understand that, folks? You and I are the miracle. 2016 is not the story of Donald Trump's election. 2016 is a story of us and our standing up. 2016 election was all about us. 2018 is all about us. Taking down the deep state is all about us. That's what this is all about. Keep fighting. Keep spreading the word. I'm telling you, the more we talk about it, the more we talk about marching, the more we talk about taking action, it will come to fruition. I believe in the power of people. I believe in the power of the masses able to effect change in a positive way. I believe in that wholeheartedly. Let's make it happen, folks. Let's make it happen. Let's not be distracted by what goes on in the desert. For we all know the hotter the desert gets, the more mirages there seems to be. This is the Guerrilla, over and out.